Welcome, cartel members. We got breaking news, although you guys probably already knew because you're cartel members. Russia has declared war on Ukraine. So it's kind of breaking news, I guess, even though we've kind of been at war since, I don't know, last Friday. President Vladimir Putin said Russia's military operation in Ukraine is in response to threats. He accused the U.S. and its allies of ignoring Russia's demands to stop Ukraine from joining NATO. President Vladimir Putin said in a televised address overnight on Wednesday that Russia will conduct a military operation in eastern Ukraine. Putin said the action comes in response to threats coming from Ukraine. He added that Russia doesn't have a goal to occupy the country. President Vladimir Putin said in a televised address overnight on Wednesday that Russia will conduct a military operation in eastern Ukraine. So it's not really war. It's still an operation, you know. Putin said the action comes in response to threats coming from Ukraine. He added that Russia doesn't have a goal to occupy the country. Putin said the responsibility for bloodshed lies with the Ukrainian regime. Putin warned other countries that any attempt to interfere with Russian action would lead to consequences they have never seen. So are they wagging the tail of the dog here? What's going on? He said the Russian military operation aims to ensure a demilitarization of Ukraine. Putin said that all Ukrainian servicemen who lay down arms will be able to safely leave the zone of combat. The announcement came as the UN Security Council was poised to meet in New York in its second emergency session of the week, this one called by Ukraine. So we're going to talk a little bit about Mr. Putin here, or President, whatever you call him, at the end. Personally, I'm a fan, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are, but we'll discuss that here in a minute. Earlier Wednesday, a senior Pentagon official said that Russia has amassed nearly all the forces, infantry, artillery, cruise, and ballistic missiles it will need to mount a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Those forces include 24 warships in the Black Sea and represent nearly 100% of the combat power needed for a large scale, said the official, who briefed reporters but was not authorized to speak publicly. Now, that should be illegal at this point. You know what I mean? Who knows? It should be illegal. Russia has deployed more than 150,000 troops near Ukraine's border, with every indication that they are poised for an imminent attack, Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby said during a news conference Wednesday. They are ready to go right now, Kirby said. Of Russian forces, the blame for suffering for such an attack will rest solely with Russian President Vladimir Putin. It will involve significant casualties and destruction. It will only cause instability on the European continent. Now, there's some photos, I guess, they've been striking here the past hour or something like that. Funker TV has been covering it live, so go check him out on YouTube. I'm going to try to cover it as much as I can, but I got to go pick up my wife here in a little bit, and who knows when it's, they're going to officially start it. This is just an operation, mind you. So the strategic moment of Russian forces comes as Ukraine was poised to implement a 30-day state of emergency on Wednesday. President called up military reservists as Russia recognized two separatist regions as independent and appeared mobilized for major military action. Zelensky said that Ukraine wants silence, but noted it must act. But if we remain silent today, we will disappear tomorrow, he said late Tuesday. So this operation is like equivalent to us going into Pakistan and getting Osama, supposedly, allegedly, and it not being a full-scale war, right? It was a special operation. The nation's parliament must approve the emergency declaration initiated by Ukraine's Security Council and coming a day after Putin received permission from lawmakers to use troops outside the country. The Kremlin's action drew wide condemnation and major sanctions from the United States and the European Union. Russia just announced that it is carving out a big chunk of Ukraine, President Joe Biden said Tuesday, and that served as a trigger for the U.S. to impose sanctions targeting Moscow's banks and some elite individuals. Biden said Russia will pay an even steeper price if aggression continues. On Wednesday, Biden announced new sanctions on the company overseeing the Russian-owned gas pipeline Nord Stream 2, as well as its corporate officers, in response to Moscow's invasion. Ukrainian President and other officials have remained on an even keel, downplaying any threat, even as their nation has become nearly surrounded by over 150,000 Russian troops built up over months. Zelensky continued talks on Tuesday with neighboring leaders, speaking with Hungarian Prime Minister and Turkish President. Diplomacy between Russia and Western allies appeared all but dead following the announcement of penalties. Secretary of State Antony Blinken canceled his Thursday meeting with Russian Foreign Ministry Sergei Lavrov. That's all I really have for you guys. My next video is going to be on an atom that has been recently photoed. So with that, to God be the glory.